What's up, everybody in that baseball world? Ty Bartellin with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we're joined by the Southeast skipper, Mr. John Kinsey of the baseball club over there at Southeast High School. Coach Kinsey, how we doing today, man?
Doing great, doing great. We appreciate any coverage we get, so we're certainly appreciative of you and YSN. So thank you.
Well, we're appreciative of everything that Southeast has been able to do for us hospitality-wise, and we're excited to have the first season of Southeast softball and baseball on the network this year. Let's talk a little bit about the team and just talk to me about what you're seeing. You guys are going to get some nice weather this week to hopefully get out on the field, perhaps. What are you seeing, though, from the team this year, and what are your expectations from them?
Yeah, we were able to get out last night a little bit and see the whole field and kind of get some guys in positions and moving around. So that was good. We hope to do a little bit more of that this week as the sun stays out, God willing. But we're definitely going to be young. We have 3 seniors on this team and 2 juniors, and then we have a 10-man sophomore class and 10-man freshman class. And lucky for us, there's some really solid talent and some really good ball players in those younger classes. But we're certainly going to need to be glued together a little bit by senior leadership early on until we kind of fit the pieces and pegs and the holes that they need to go in to hope to hit that stride by mid-season or tournament time.
Let's go through kind of a meet the team sort of segment too. Go through those senior leaders too, and some of the other names we're going to need to watch out for in Pirate Town.
Yeah, Kayla Miller is first baseman, third baseman. Does a little catching for us every now and then in a pinch, and certainly is going to be a big part of what we do on the mound this year. He's going to be kind of the heartbeat of our offensive lineup throughout the order. Zach Keto is kind of a glue guy, a do anything guy. He'll play a little second base for us, see some outfield. Definitely some good speed, some good intel on the bases out there. And then Brady Blankenship's our other senior. He's our catcher, and he's pretty darn good back there. He does a really nice job defensively, and certainly will be somewhere near the top of our lineup offensively as well. And all 3 of those guys, have started a significant amount of games at the varsity level and kind of got their feet wet in the water up there. So they'll kind of lead us. Our junior class consists of David Wilk, who'll kind of be a newcomer trying to earn some time out there. And then Joe Sherish, kind of a proven commodity. Last year as a sophomore, I think was 5-1 with an ERA under 1 and did some really nice things on the mound. And we're certainly hoping he expands upon that offensively to kind of help us stretch out the lineup a little bit. Sophomores, boy, we got a slew of them, but probably headlining that class is the guy who started 27 games for us at shortstop last year, Cohen Richardson. I think as a freshman last season, he hit something in the 330, 340 range with a really high contact percentage and a great OBP. So, again, another guy that we're counting on in a big way to be at the top of that lineup to try to stretch us out a little bit. And then a bunch of new faces that are going to be competing for time, whether it be on the mound somewhere in that rotation or finding their hole defensively. Nate Machino, corner infielder pitcher. Braden Walden has a pretty good opportunity in front of him to take the reins of the outfield. Maybe it's a center fielder for us this year. Timmy Parbell is a really good sophomore who's working really, really hard to try to fill some of those holes in the infield second base area. Daniel Clint, corner infielder, a guy who's really had a great offseason and kind of thinned out and looking like he's ready to play varsity baseball. We got a newcomer, Riley Grope, to the district. Big, tall kid, about 6'4" sophomore, and he's kind of finding his way right now on the mound. But when he throws it, you're going to know it. And if we can get him kind of channeled in and dialed in and pitching and not throwing, he's going to be a big help to us as well. And you go down the list, these 2 classes are not only good ball players, but they're great kids. Josh Donovan, Alex Peelish, Dalen Weingart, Carter Precorato is going to have a chance to see some time out there in the outfield. And then you get to our freshman class, and we have – again, I don't know if they're tall enough to ride the ride yet, but they're really close, and that's really good for our future. Not only the near future, but the extended future as well. But Alante Masrock, he brings some velo on the mound, and certainly one of the more athletic freshmen I've ever come across on the diamond. Caden Dillon and Bradley Dillon both have some really good traits. Bradley's looks pretty darn good back there for a freshman right now behind the plate. Caden's doing some great things in the middle infield, and we have some guys vying for outfield time like Devin Miller and Landon Gump, Matt Ross, Gabe Hartman, Garrett Davis. So we got a lot of position battles right now for some young guys, but we feel comfortable saying that once they kind of find their tread and find their footing, that we're going to be okay.
When you have a wealth of young players like that, as well as some seasoned experienced leaders in the mix, how do you kind of balance player development with the goal of winning games throughout the season?
I, I think it'd be a disservice to our seniors if we started talking about player development in March.
Yeah.
For me, it's we got to go play this season. We got to go win games. We could have taken that approach last year. New coaching staff in, and we only had a couple seniors last year in that big freshman class. But we kind of look at it differently. Yeah, I think that we'd be lying to each other if we didn't say, yeah, to some degree. There's a lot of guys that we got to get ready not only for this spring but the following spring or springs thereafter. But the truth is, I think our goal as a coaching staff right now is to try to find a way to glue this all together to make us the most dangerous team we can be by the time the tournament draw comes.
When we talk about your guys' upcoming season, it's going to be a new season, new look, new conference now that you guys get to play in. What kind of excitement is in that, looking at the conference schedule and looking at the non-conference schedule as a whole, too? What kind of excitement surrounds that this year?
I think any unknown, has a bit of excitement to it. Certainly for us, coming from a league that, was dwindling in numbers there a little bit, not having a ton of conference games or those conference rivalries that really stuck out. Certainly hope to create some of those. The unfortunate side of that, obviously, I'm kind of more towards the Summit County side originally with my circles and kind of knowing some of those teams. So there's a lot of unfamiliar teams within our league that we're digging and trying to do as much research as possible to put us in an advantageous position to try to be competitive. But we know what we need to know. I mean, we know traditionally Garrettsville and LeBray have been at the top of this thing, and they always find a way to put together a well-coached team that's going to compete night in and night out and make tournament runs. And we kind of know that they're the litmus paper, the litmus test that we kind of have to meet to be able to compete in this league day in and day out. And certainly top to bottom, we got a little taste of Newton Falls last year. They had some really talented players. I know Champion always finds a way to reload. So there's some good teams in this league that we kind of have to get familiar with first and foremost, and then we got to find ways to beat. And we hope we can do that as much as possible. But certainly, we know the challenge is ahead of us. We have a little bit more of a daunting non-conference schedule this year with the likes of Field. We take a trip out to Wayne County and play Norwayne. So we have some some tests on our schedule, and we want to go out there and show our guys that, hey, this is what really good baseball looks like. And we might not be there yet, but if we want to be there and we want to win at that level, this is what it's going to take.
You don't want to be surprised in the tournament by that type of competition. You want to be exposed to it well before that. I get that philosophy. Speaking on philosophies too, what would you say is your kind of coaching philosophy that you live by, or to kind of describe yourself as a coach?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of everything, football and baseball and both. And I think I've come out the other side, and we put on the back of our uniforms, the back of our hats, we, us, our. This is a very individual driven game with stats and all those things. Everybody wants to know their batting average and their OBP and that type of thing. But we really try to put the emphasis on the things we need to do to be successful are oftentimes in this game very selfless. And we need to focus on the greater achievement of the team. So for us, it's really been a focus on, hey, we're going to be young and we might not be able to lead the league in doubles or lead the league in home runs or slugging percentage. But what we can do, and I feel we can do better than everyone else, is go out there and run the bases better and have the fundamentals down and do some of the things defensively to the best of our ability. So right now, the focus for us is on what we do as a team together. And some of those individual successes can be mirrored by that as we continue to develop the athlete in their entirety. But right now we're worried about the we, the us, and the our, and how we can go do things our way and get the results that we want.
When we talk about the success you guys were able to experience last year too, record wise, how much does community support play into that success too, and seeing the parents out there lining the fence and out there cheering your guys on?
Yeah, and it's not just that. We had parents out there helping us drag the field, and out this way, there's all sorts of equipment and big, I don't know, front loaders, a bunch of stuff I can't even name. I don't even know what they are, but they come out in an army and they start dragging and they start helping. And certainly, we've done some fundraisers that have absolutely exceeded expectations. So the community support and certainly the administrative support here in the building, our teachers as well, has been phenomenal. And that's something that I know doesn't exist everywhere, but we feel really fortunate to have it here. It's been a very pleasant surprise since arriving.
I like the way you kind of describe your team's identity of being a fundamentally driven team, and you guys are going to live through the fundamentals. What do you think? I guess I know it's early in the season. I know we're still a couple weeks away from opening day, but what would you describe some of the team goals right now this season if we're going into the locker room and there's discussion amongst the team? What's some of the team goals right now early on?
You know, I'm not. I think there's a time and a place to kind of define those, and a time and a place to kind of, narrow your focus on those things. Right now, and it's a cliche, corny coach answer, but right now our goal is to get better every day. And there's a lot of people that'll tell you that and maybe not mean it, but with 20 underclassmen on our roster, we're trying to make sure that every day these guys leave and have learned something and have improved on something. So short term, as casual as that is, it is the truth. Over the course of it, though, I don't think anybody's going to sit here and tell you that their goal isn't to go win. We want to go put together a winner, and I think a lot of these guys also feel like, they've had in the past they've had some teams here, and I think some of them have a chip on their shoulder that says, "Hey, we want to prove that maybe last year wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a one class thing, or it wasn't a 1 year thing. It wasn't a 2024 thing." So I think some of our success is able to drive us as well. And certainly early on, we're going to have some ups and downs, and we hope that can fuel the fire. But I think right now, we're going to try to get better every day, and we're going to try to go out every day to prove that this is a program that can be sustainable at this level, and not something that was just a 2024 fad or one-off.
I know it's not just you. I know it takes a whole group to kind of get the ship going, right? So, who are some of the other coaches too? Who's the coaching staff that surrounds you that helps make up this the Southeast Pirates club?
Yeah, first and foremost, since I've started coaching years ago, my dad has been with me as my pitching coach. He's a longtime ball coach who's still kind of getting his itch for it. So he deals with our pitching staff and does a really nice job. Right now, as we talk about being on the field, that's something that we've felt really comfortable with as far as their ability to throw strikes and hit spots. So that's off to a great start. Dan Miller kind of deals with our corner infield and more focuses on our hitting, our offensive approach. He's been with me the last 2 years. We have a pair of Sherishes, Nick Sherish and Thomas Sherish, father and son, that kind of man our JV squad. And they focus on our outfield and been doing a really nice job with a young crew out there trying to get them ready. And then our newcomer to the staff this year is Coach Richardson. He's dealing primarily with our catchers and doing a really nice job of keeping that narrow vision on a position that's so important to us and drilling those guys with all of the little particulars that make a great backstop. So.
Did Dad get to coach you growing up? Was he your coach?
Fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it. He was always a part of it in some way. So getting to kind of do it with him now on the other side has been a really unique experience. It's been awesome.
Going to say, did it feel full circle for you to kind of get into the coaching shoes and then kind of understand from that perspective a little bit?
I don't know about that, but I think it's nice that I get to tell him what to do now. So that's kind of a role reversal that I can dig. So,
Coach, I want to give you the opportunity to give a shout out to the community. Let them know why they need to be out there supporting this team again this year too, and when your first game is going to be too, and when they could catch you.
Yeah, we open March 29th, scheduled to be at home against Matthews, another team out here that we're gaining familiarity with, I suppose, but. Baseball is a really difficult sport in Ohio. We all know the challenges that come with the weather and those type of things. And we have snow one day and sunshine the next. But we have a great group of parents, and we hope that we can get the school and the student body a little bit more involved this year and get as many people flooding, the stadium as we possibly can, especially early on, to support these guys because they've worked hard and they believe in what we're doing. And I believe they deserve all the support we can get.
Well, we believe in you guys as well over there in Southeast, as we here at YSN Live are so excited for our first season of Pirate Baseball here on the network. I'm excited to be able to get out there and see what you guys got going on the diamond. Best of luck in practice season here, Coach, and best of luck in the regular season as we're counting down the days until opening game.
Thanks, Ty. We appreciate it.